Hello, everyone. Welcome to our CripChat, our weekly podcast on everything disability. Good day. Welcome with Jonathan. How's it going? And hello to David C. How are you?
Hello, Ibby. How you going?
I'm all good. Thank you. Thank you for
Very
joining
good.
us today. So, for the audience, if you want to, I guess, chuck in a comment, yeah, please do so in the chat. But on the other hand, David C., what are we going to be talking about today?
Okay. Well, look, like I thought about, given the way we're talking about like um, being inclusive of everyone in the last couple of weeks. I thought we might want to actually discuss virtue signaling and possible patronising of people with disabilities in Australia, and whether there's a place for it in our society today. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I just wanted to throw that open here. And maybe and actually, if we look at the former campaign "Diss My Ability," like "Don't Diss My Ability," that is right. That famous campaign in New South Wales that ran several years here in Australia. I wanted to ask what you guys thought about that. Somebody you think it's a
So,
valuable
David
campaign
C.,
or not?
can you refresh my mind as well as the viewer's mind? What exactly is don't diss my ability?
Okay, basically it was a campaign from the New South Wales state government in relation to promoting better understanding and knowledge of of our abilities over our disabilities. And so basically they ran events and posters and promotional videos basically talking about basically saying to people that they shouldn't be like dissing our ability, which was interesting to at the time because it raised different questions for us all
Oh, yeah. Oh,
around,
yeah.
around just how we see ourselves, you know. Um,
Yeah, but it's important that awareness is being made, especially for people with disability out there. Focusing
yeah,
on their ability rather than their disability.
that's right.
We
And
can
so
do so much more, so much more.
yeah,
Yeah.
Shall we see the disability as aspect of who they are? So, some people may be alienated by such a campaign.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Look, I
which
agree.
which is
Sorry,
true.
go ahead, Davidson.
Yeah, and many times, I mean, we can be actually like ostracized or left behind in such campaigns because they don't actually cover all of us. I mean, some of us don't even know actually what our skills or abilities are because we've never been asked. We never had the chance to discover them for ourselves.
Yeah, yeah.
Which the challenge for us all out there. And for those of us that do discover our talents and abilities, right, there's a question of, well, how do we see ourselves, and whether or not it's nice to be pointed out for them or not. I mean, so often I get told that I'm inspirational, right?
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
to me, right, I'm not. I get on with it and do things. I achieve the thing I
Yeah.
want to do in my life, like what I'm sure you do, Ibby, and you, Jonathan. I mean,
Exactly.
we just get on with it.
Exactly.
It's
Exactly.
not something to be we don't want to necessarily be told, "Oh, well done for getting out of bed." I mean, everyone gets out of bed to a
Look, that's
certain
a very good point.
to a certain degree. I mean, some of us do have difficulty with that, and that's another thing altogether, which is true. But we can't just box all of us and say we're all in the one category. Um,
Exactly. No, no, that's a very good point, David. It's not about us being inspirational. We are not inspirational to anyone. Nobody is an inspiration to anyone. We do what everyone does on a regular basis. We shouldn't
that's right.
feel that we're special or any different because we do have these barriers. It's
Yeah.
not how it is.
Yeah, like I'm keen to ask Jonathan what he thinks about this because it's important because I mean he could be called inspirational, couldn't you, Jonathan, for setting up ADL and for setting up CripChat. I mean,
Well,
do you find that?
well, I accept that not everyone found their organization, but to me, when you equate the notion of disability automatically with inspiration, it actually devalues the people who may not feel confident in themselves by having a disability, and how would it make an able-bodied person to call them inspirational for doing the most mundane tasks.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And it also singles out that person. They're made to feel like, they have superpowers or that they're special, you know, uh,
Yeah.
they're unique, they stand out from the rest of the crowd. And yeah, look, shouldn't be the case.
Plus, I mean, the only thing I'd say though is that I think with that as well is that we got to watch out for like tokenism as well because at times
Of course.
um, people do want to have like the token person with a disability there just because they happen to have a disability when
Exactly.
to me we should be getting places for our merit and for our fact that we have skills to offer and things to actually provide rather than just being because we sit in a chair or just because we got crutches or we got whatever we happen to bring from a from from a community standpoint. It's not just that. I think it's what we actually offer. It's how it's the qualities we bring to the discussion. It's our intelligence. It's all the other strengths we have,
Yeah.
which of course everyone else has as well, which is a useful I
Exactly.
think it's the thing. So
So,
like so
focusing, yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Sorry, yeah, no, as I was saying, focusing on a more social model of disability than the medical model.
That's exactly right. Yeah, it's about
Exactly.
it's about that. Yeah,
Yeah.
and and so I mean, I was keen to ask you guys what the possible long term effects of such measures of campaigns like that would actually be for us. Because I mean, if such things continue like this type of don't diss my ability campaign, it does have a certain like residual approach to it that's left there around how people you know see us, especially when it comes to watching us on television or seeing us on even this podcast. People
Yeah.
think about how they view people with disabilities. Um, so I mean, I mean, that's why I asked what you guys would think of the long term impacts or the effects of such um,
Look,
measures.
it's good to have those campaigns out there. Um, it's good to bring awareness for people with disability, but mind you and mind everyone else, it is important to recognize a person as a human being rather than just seeing him as a person with disability. So we got
Yeah,
to focus more on a person for their quality characteristics rather than their, I guess, physical being. What are your
yeah,
thoughts, Jonathan?
I think if we look at the notion of disability strictly from a sociological perspective, what is wrong is not necessarily being called disabled or abled. What is wrong is how society has constructed those terms to be a deficiency. We can bring a lot to the table and make society better and really saying don't this my ability discount the people with disabilities have distinctive abilities which help society,
Yep.
not diminish it.
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly.
I agree.
Good
Yeah,
stuff. Good stuff.
I mean, like, I mean, guys, do you find that the muchness within your careers at all or not? Do you find that you
Look,
guys are recognised for who you are and your talents and your place that you've actually
um,
earned?
in
Just
the
out of interest, yeah, the
in the
workplace.
workplace, not so much. I mean, I I try to enforce a more inclusive, workplace.
Yeah,
There are some things that need to be, of course, improved in terms of that, but it's looking good. I mean, I'm just there to do my work at the end of the day. Yeah, yeah. I guess it is what it is. I go to the
yeah,
office, I do my job, and I leave, and that's how it should be.
Yeah, exactly. And it could, and then I mean, if they have a question that they want to ask you, like regarding disability, though, right? It's always good that you're there, but they
Oh,
shouldn't
yeah,
just
it's
assume that like they're our go-to person for that, because everyone should know about disability to an extent.
exactly. They should be educated, but the timing should be, considered. You
Yeah.
can't just ask someone on the spot, what's your disability, or why are you on a wheelchair, or you need to be educated.
Or like, were you born like that? Which I get often as well.
Yes, yes.
And I'd say, I always say like, no, the chair came later.
Ah, yeah, yeah. I get, yeah. I do get bombarded with questions. Like, why are you on a wheelchair? Or yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Look, it is what it is. You try to ignore it, but it does affect you. It does affect your mental health. It does put you off in a bad mood. It can be the difference between a good day and a bad day.
yeah, I agree.
When you ask questions like that, it kind of puts you off, puts you on the edge. So, are these types of measures aiding our lives? What are your thoughts, David?
Um, that's a toughie because, like as you said before, both Ibby and Jonathan, I think that there's room for how we actually promote our message. There's room for that,
Yeah, yeah,
but I think to blanket coverage us all and say we're all at the same point is a nonsense because we're not at the same point. There's some of us who are ahead of others and others who are struggling.
no,
Um, and also others who choose not to do anything, which is their choice.
of course.
Some of
Yeah,
us don't want to have the same ambitions as what others do, and that's fine to have as well. I would never discount that from anyone. I think we have the right to choose how we live our lives as we wish to.
I mean,
Yeah,
we all come from different backgrounds, but we're all here for the same message. And
that's right.
it's I guess, yeah, spreading awareness about people with disability, and how they should be treated, per
Yeah,
se.
Jonathan, what do you think about that?
I think it's all well and good to raise awareness, but some campaigns may be good intentioned, but they may end up having the opposite effect. Like,
Yeah,
I understand from able bodied perspective, we don't this my ability was meant to say treat us all the same, but the fact is we're the same but different. Some people feel disability pride, and someone to avoid their disability, which is fine, but there should have been messaging which speaks to that diversity of views.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I
Okay.
agree.
Can I ask you, Ibby, do we have any questions there on the board? I see lots of comments. I can't read them myself there.
Yeah, yeah, no, no comments as of yet. But if anyone does have any comments, yeah, just please feel free to put them in the chat.
I can feel free to you.
All
Is
good.
that actually like so? Do you guys find any? I mean, are there measures we can actually look into the future of how we can actually better improve how we're seen? I mean, what ideas would you guys have for that? Of how we could look at
I guess
having
just bring
a
about
better
more
approach?
awareness. Bring about
Yeah,
more awareness, and I guess education. Education is always key.
yeah,
To educate people about disabilities, and I guess how to not manage, but how to I guess treat people with disabilities. And
yeah. And I
start them
guess
off young.
and I guess also a bit of peer support for each other too, right? How we can build each ourselves up as well. I think is a it's a useful, you know, I think thing to think about is to help each other more because
Yeah,
I mean if we have questions of how we want to perceive ourselves or how we look at our lives, we can use each other for that and actually build that knowledge base and that understanding of each other to actually look for that guidance from each other as well to build our own strengths.
of course, of course. It's
Um,
all about that peak connection.
but is that, what are your thoughts, John? On how to improve future measures?
I actually think we need a way to embed disability awareness in the Australian curriculum so when high school students do PDHP, they do one unit on disability inclusion to learn about the key issues and themes in our community
Yeah,
because it's all well and good to have awareness campaigns, but without the education aspect, attitudes would just stay the same.
Yeah, I agree with that.
exactly. It's all about changing the attitudes,
Yeah.
but it's ongoing education and
So,
just
final
bringing
thoughts.
awareness. Final thoughts. Yeah. Look, I'm happy to go first. Final thoughts. Yeah. Look, we should do more campaigns. To bring awareness to promote or educate people about people with disability and how to treat them. We shouldn't be left out. We shouldn't be made to feel special. Or none of this inspirational porn. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's all about education. Get yourselves out there, educate. Thank you for that, Jonathan. Any final thoughts?
My father is if you hard to teach ethnicity to this player for episodes to your students. It may be more effective than using shock and awe tactics.
Awesome.
And I got my
And
final
over to
thoughts
you,
about
David.
this. Yeah, is basically yeah, we need to actually I think increase the actual planning of how we do such measures in the future. Just like work on peer support measures as well amongst ourselves, and to make sure we have that awareness out there in the community about how we wish to be perceived, and that goes to the question of how we build the narrative for us and realign that narrative for us across the world and around Australia.
Cool. Awesome. Awesome.
You've
Thank you for that.
been watching CripChat Weekly podcast on everything disability. Join us next week for more CripChat Australia.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.